Okay? Can you do without this standard? Yeah. This is much better. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's such a pleasure for me to join you on this Hubei Media Week. I'm especially thrilled to join you because I have some personal connections with Hubei. Many years ago, mainly in the 70s, I was a 10-year-old boy. My father decided to take me to the place where he was born. And in China, we call that Jiguan, Anhui province. So we made a journey of 5 days, starting from the place where I was born, in Guizhou province, 5 days. Going through Wuhan, and finally to my father's hometown, to Renzhou, Guizhou, to know where I came from. Wuhan, at that time, I was deeply impressed by the city of Wuhan, because that was the largest city in my life as a 10-year-old boy. I never could imagine the size and the beauty and all of the things I saw in Wuhan. So that memory stayed with me in all those years. You can guess my age, okay? And I still remember very, very vividly in Wuhan. The food I got, the hotel I stayed, the way leading from the hotel all the way to the Changjiang Daqiao, that bridge across the Yangtze River. So I feel like some amity or a close connection with Wuhan. I didn't realize then, after another many years, I got a chance to go to Wuhan to teach as an English teacher. I actually taught English in a school in Huanggang. Huanggang is a town close to Wuhan, but at that time it will take about 2 hours to get there. So I spent a year there, made lots of friends, and get to know more about Hubei, about Wuhan. So that's the personal connection. And since I went to Beijing to join the diplomatic team, every time I went back to Guizhou to see my mom, I would take the train, and the train will absolutely pass Wuhan. So I've been there many, many times. And Wuhan became a city where, in my memory or in my life, a very important city. So I feel so thrilled when I get an invitation that I will join you this afternoon for this event. I thought I have to add a little bit of this into the story, or my own story into the story. I want to extend my warmest welcome to the delegation led by Mr. Zhang Shihua, and they got like 50 people flying all the way from Wuhan to America. And they only got a couple of days here. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, they will have to go back. Nowadays, traveling is not that easy. They will, on their way back, they will have to go through Doha, somewhere spending more than 30 hours before they can really go back. So in this tough journey, this is really a tough journey. Why are they coming for? I think they come at a very important time. Ms. Zhang already mentioned that last month, the two presidents, President Xi Jinping of China and President Biden, had a historical meeting in San Francisco, Filori Estate, and they reached lots of mutual understandings, more than 20 of them, covering many areas: diplomatic and security, anti-narcotics, in science and technology, and many others, you name it. Among those, the most important consensus are the 5 pillars. Number 1, both sides agree to form a right perception of each other. Whether you see me as a friend or as a partner or as an enemy or competitor. That's the foremost important thing. Second, both sides agree to work together to manage our differences. China is very different in many areas with the United States of America. So those differences were there, are there, and is going to be there. So we will have these differences, but that doesn't mean we can't work together. So we need to manage all those differences and work together. To the third one, enlarge the mutual interest together to make this relationship deliver. And the fourth common understanding is to show the responsibility as big powers. America is the largest, number 1 economical power in the world. China is the second largest. We showed the responsibility as a major power to work together to make this relationship deliver, so everybody in this whole world will benefit from it. And the fifth one, very important for me as a Consul General, is to enhance this mutual understanding between our peoples, so we can build trust and lay a solid ground for this relationship to grow. So when I hear this media week is going to be held here, I think you come at the right time. This is actually the action to implement this consensus. And you are the first delegation from China to do the job. So warmly welcome. I think you deserve a large round of applause from the audience. To get to know each other is not an easy job. I think that's the major problem right now between China and the US. We all know our two peoples are great. We all believe our two countries are great. But how can we not get along that well and having so many problems in all these years, fighting against each other, and you see, since we're going on not very well like that, I think the major problem lies in the lack of mutual understanding. That's the foremost thing. And the media played a very important role to help people to understand each other. Like in Hubei, Mr. Zhang has introduced to you how rich for the history has been in Hubei, how beautiful the beautiful scenery has been there in Hubei, how important its location is, strategically speaking, in transportation, in many others, and how great, the economy has been growing since we had this policy of reform and opening. So Hubei is really a wonderful, wonderful place. I believe many people can tell some of that. For example, everybody heard about the Three Gorges. Everybody heard about the huge big dam, the Yangtze River, Wudang, Taiji, and even when you are rowing on the lake, you know the dragon boat came from there, from Hubei, originated. And those natural beauties are there. But you may not know that much, or in kind of more sophisticated way. If you want to know something, the best way, of course, is to go there to see for yourself. And in the meantime, you need to read more books, maybe watch more documentary videos, maybe, get to know each other by working together, do some program of research by partnering with universities, with, companies there in that province. Those were the best ways you get to know that place, get to know its people. So they have come over here to show you the beauty, the rich history, and many others in Hubei province. They have come over here to looking for partners where we can work together to make this partnership deliver. I think there are lots of stories we can tell. Mr. Zhang just mentioned the flying tiger. Before I came here, 2 hours ago, I was hosting a lunch for the Flying Tiger veteran with Mr. Jack Goodrich sitting next to me. He's at the age of 100 years. And his wife sitting next to my wife across the table. She's now 96. And we got Jeff, we got his wife Catherine, we got many others. Flying Tiger shows that Chinese people, American people, we could work together. When China was in difficulty, we got those helper, volunteers from America, fighting together with us against these Japanese invaders, fighting for human dignity, fighting for humanity. That story should be told more. Should reach people, more people. I didn't know that Flying Tiger had one story. One pilot dropped in Hubei province. I will call Jeff, I said, you have to find out and add this chapter of Hubei people, or people in Hubei, how they helped to rescue this American pilot. Add this into the story of Flying Tiger. We have actually lots of stories like this. And you mentioned the story of Guliang. Guliang story, I went to Rhode Island, Mu Yanling. She's the major person there telling the story. I met her, and she recalled all those years she and her husband spent in China, including in Hubei. She told me all the stories about that and how they built up this friendship with Chinese people. Both Flying Tigers and Mu Yanling from Guliang, they were received and met by President Xi in San Francisco. Before attending this welcome banquet, they had a meeting, they have a photo. If you search on the internet, you will see these beautiful pictures taken. So I really have lots of stories I want to add, but I think the best way is that I should encourage you to either build a partnership with people coming from Hubei, or read their books, or all kinds of watch the video documentary to get to know that part of the world, and through it get to know more about Chinese nation and the Chinese people. It's so important. President Xi reiterated that to enhance the people-to-people exchange is one of the most important things. During his speech in that welcoming banquet, he said this word people more than 60 times. He said the future of the relation between China and the US lies in the people, lies in the youth, lies in the exchange and the cooperation on sub-national level exchange. Now today we got people from Ohio. Hubei is a province, sister province with Ohio. And that was the first sister province in the state relationship ever built since the establishment of the relation between China and the US. I actually just came back 3 days ago from Ohio. When the deputy governor, lieutenant governor of Hubei province came to visit Ohio, I went there. We had a meeting with the lieutenant governors there. We had a very nice engagement with the community and many others. So by taking advantage or by using this platform of people-to-people exchange in full scale, we really can get lots of things positive out of this. So let's work together. I still want to say the best way to get to know that place, one place, is to go there and see for your own eyes. Hubei is so attractive. You won't believe me? Have you read the Romance of the Three Kingdoms? You know there are 120 chapters there. More than 70 chapters of them were things happening in Hubei province. So if you love the story, you want to go there. You heard many poems. Shu Dongpo must be one of them. So you love the poetry, you want to go there, you find Shu Dongpo in Hubei. That's where I taught English in that time. There are many other things, of course. If you just go there looking for chances to do business, that's the best place to go in science and technology, especially in obstacle. It's called an optical valley. And if you want to have some engagement in education, go there. They have the best university in the central part of China. President Xi just offered 50,000 students from America. No, it's not students, youth. China will invite 50,000 youth from America to China in the next 5 years. So you could, if you could have some partnership with them, you are always welcome to find those youth, let them go to China to get to learn a different culture and civilization. Finally, I will use 3 sentences to see the importance of getting to know each other between China and the US. That's also a consensus from that summit. Number one, it's not possible for China and the US not to engage each other, not to have connections with each other. Decoupling is not possible. Not possible. Second, it's not realistic for each side trying to change the other side. It's not realistic. It's not possible. America is going to be like America as it is. China is going to be like China as it is. It's not possible to change. By the way, why do you need to change? Diversity is more beautiful. Why do you want everybody to be like you? Exactly. It's no good. And the third thing is it will be a disaster, or the result is unbearable to any side if China and the US have a clash or a confrontation or a war. So the only way for us is to get along with each other. Find ways to get along with each other in a better way so we can build a society with a shared future. And the people-to-people exchange lay the ground for that. So it's not a job for diplomats or just for diplomats. It's a job for everybody. Let's work together to lay a solid ground for the relationships to grow so everybody benefits. Thank you again for coming. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you.
Thanks for your wonderful speech from your heart without a paper. And across what you said, we have felt warmth, friendship, respect, and responsibility.